Welcome to Dinar World, your trusted destination for real updates, deep analysis, and powerful insights into the Iraqi dinar and global currency movements. I'm truly glad you're here today, because what we're discussing in this video is extremely important for anyone holding Iraqi dinar right now. If you've been watching Middle Eastern currency markets closely, you already know how quickly everything can change. One unexpected decision can completely shift the narrative overnight, and that's exactly what just happened. Iran made a shocking move that caught the entire region off guard. In a single overnight decision, Iran officially removed 4 zeros from its currency. Yes, 4 zeros gone, just like that. This was not a minor technical adjustment and not a small policy tweak hidden in paperwork. This was a bold, dramatic monetary move that instantly changed how money is counted, priced, and perceived inside Iran. And if you're holding Iraqi dinar, you need to understand why this matters for you. Currency markets do not exist in isolation, especially not in the Middle East. What happens in Iran does not stay in Iran. These economies are tightly connected through trade, oil markets, banking systems, investments, and regional financial flows. When a major regional player like Iran makes a move this aggressive, it sends powerful ripples across borders, and those ripples absolutely reach Iraq. To understand why Iran did this, we need context. Iran has been battling severe inflation for years, not the kind of inflation where prices rise slowly, but the kind that destroys purchasing power and confidence. Prices exploded into the millions. Salaries were paid in massive numbers that still barely covered basic needs. And over time, people lost trust in their own currency. When confidence collapses, people rush to foreign currencies, black markets grow, and the economy becomes harder to manage. That's when governments are forced to act, sometimes in very drastic ways. This is where currency redenomination comes in. Removing zeros does not magically make people richer, and this is important to understand. Purchasing power does not change. If something cost 10,000 old reals yesterday and costs one new real today, the real value is exactly the same. The math changes, not the worth. What does change is simplicity, efficiency, and psychology. People stop dealing with absurdly large numbers. Banking systems become easier to manage. Pricing feels more normal. And that psychological shift can be incredibly powerful. Imagine seeing prices in the millions every single day. Over time, that breaks confidence and reinforces the idea that the economy is broken. By cutting zeros, Iran essentially pressed a psychological reset button. Prices look smaller, salaries sound more reasonable, and money feels usable again, even though the fundamentals haven't magically changed. What makes this even more significant is how Iran did it. This was not gradual. This was not phased in over years. This happened overnight. That means banks were ready, ATMs were updated, government systems were aligned, contracts and salaries were recalculated instantly. Whether you agree with Iran's policies or not, this shows serious execution capability, and global investors always pay attention when a government can pull off a move of this scale so quickly. Now let's talk about what this means for Iraq and the Iraqi dinar. This is where IQD holders need to stay very alert. When one country in the region takes bold currency action, it immediately raises questions about others, especially Iraq. Investors start asking whether Iraq could consider similar reforms, whether this signals a broader regional shift toward currency restructuring, and whether pressure is building on Iraq to modernize its monetary system. Even if Iraq does nothing immediately, the conversation alone can shift perception, and perception drives markets. Iran and Iraq trade heavily with each other, and if Iran's redenomination simplifies pricing, improves transaction efficiency, and reduces financial friction, it can subtly change trade dynamics. Those changes affect currency demand, economic flow, and investor confidence, all of which feed into how the Iraqi dinar is viewed globally. Now I want to address the big question everyone is thinking about. Does this mean an Iraqi dinar revaluation is coming? The honest answer is no one can say for certain. Anyone claiming exact timing is guessing. Currency decisions depend on oil revenues, political stability, central bank policy, IMF coordination, and global economic conditions. However, Iran's move clearly proves that dramatic currency actions are absolutely on the table in this region. It shows that governments are willing to act decisively when pressure builds, and it gives Iraq a very real and very recent case study to observe. This is why smart IQD investors must look beyond Iraq alone. Major currency changes can happen fast. Regional actions influence perception. Psychology matters just as much as numbers, and staying informed is critical. Money is more than paper and digits. It is trust. When governments move to restore trust, markets react, sometimes quietly and sometimes violently. Iran's decision does not guarantee anything for Iraq, but it absolutely changes the regional narrative. And in currency markets, narratives often move before numbers do. This is why awareness, patience, and clear thinking are your strongest tools as an IQD holder. If you found this update valuable, make sure to support the channel, stay connected, and keep your eyes open, because in this space, information and timing matter more than ever. Welcome to Dinar World, and I'll see you in the next update.